There are 4 types of ADHD paralysis, and the one that you struggle with the most says something about your life. The first one is depressed ADHD paralysis. You see, people with ADHD have less dopamine, according to the neurotransmitter hypothesis. So with this one, the person with ADHD feels that nothing that they do will give them enough of a good feeling to make it worth doing. Consequently, they don't do anything. This is often present in people with ADHD who have a lot of rejection or failure, and it's really starting to take a toll. The next type of ADHD paralysis is called anxiety ADHD paralysis. This is where you've put off doing things for so long, or you've started so many projects that you haven't finished, that the idea of starting any of them is so overwhelming that you can't get yourself to do it. Oftentimes, this is after the dopamine has been extracted out of a project, and all that's left is the part of the project that is extremely not enjoyable. It's become monotonous and boring, and you know you need to finish, but you just can't get yourself to do it. And now there's like a million things that you need to do, and they keep cycling through your brain again and again, and you don't even know where to start. And so you don't. And the anxiety just gets worse and worse and worse, and you find yourself just grabbing the low-hanging dopamine, and you end up on your phone just scrolling while being full of anxiety, trying to distract yourself from it. The third type of ADHD paralysis is called distraction paralysis. This is where someone with ADHD had every intention of doing things. They're not depressed, they're not anxious necessarily. They just went to go do something, and they got distracted by something else. And then something else distracted them after that, and then something else, and they just kind of went from thing to thing to thing to thing. This is where the ADHD brain is hunting for something that's going to give them dopamine. It's almost like a wolf chasing around rabbits, trying to find something to eat, going down every single rabbit hole. They completely lose track of time and forget what they're even supposed to be doing in the first place. At the end of the day, they realize that they got nothing done that they intended to do, and it feels as if they're paralyzed in their life. The fourth and final type of ADHD paralysis is called time warp paralysis. And this is where someone with ADHD starts into a project of some kind, or maybe it's a game or something, but it gives them an intense amount of dopamine, and they start into something called hyperfocus. 16 hours pass in what feels like 16 seconds, and they come out of it and they feel like they've just been time warped on the other side. The problem is this often happens with an activity that they did not intend to spend 16 hours on, and so as far as the progress that they intended to make in their life, it didn't happen. They were paralyzed in this time warp. Now, which of the 4 types do you struggle with the most often? Put it in the comments. I'd be curious to hear. If I get enough comments on one of these, I'll make a video on how to get out of it or how to prevent it.